गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं यत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। We always try to remember why we are reading all these books and why we are born in India. The promise divine, which I say, is the freedom given to India was a divine event. Other freedoms, they had to fight for it. It was the lower mind asking for freedom. Here, it was a over mind giving freedom. This concept you try to understand. Until and unless we don't understand this point, we miss the real spirit in which we have to read it. We have to guide humanity towards higher levels of consciousness. I used a plural there, levels of consciousness. Not only in mind, but above mind also. Sri Aurobindo very clearly points out that from mind, if supermind is the evolutionary point, naturally from supermind, there will be something else. But we will come to that when we reach there, not theoretically. So, majority of our discussions or approach towards this synthesis of yoga will be basically up to the level of below supermind. Sometimes aspiring to understand what supermind is. But that does not say that is where Sri Aurobindo has put the limit. He has crossed all those things. But for us who are reading this book, it is better if we limit ourselves towards the possibility of thinking the supermind into ourselves. In this, you go to the last slides. Interior. That is what is known. The Lord of the Yoga is Purusha. But from this moment onwards, for us, the Lord of our Yoga is not Purusha, it is Prakriti. The stress has changed. Now, instead of a descent, it is an ascent. Next slide. The method we have to pursue then is to put our whole conscious being into relation and contact with the divine, and to call him in to transform our entire being into his. This is the basic definition and also the process with which we have to go. Everywhere it is the divine which should be our measuring rod, our litmus test. And naturally we will fail hundreds of times, no doubt about it. But every time you should call him. That is what is known as Ananya Chinta. You should be continuously aware every second of your life that you take care of me. I am trying my best, but our best before His power is zero. He is infinite. So this spirit, we should always remember, the pull of the divine, aspiration towards the divine. Continuously, it is just a feeling. What generally many people say, gut feeling. And in chakra language, we can call it as a Manipuraka feeling, the gut. When we are afraid or when we are ready to fight, it is the Manipuraka where something happens. And that should continuously happen. Continuously happen. Thus, in a sense, God Himself, the real person in us, becomes the sadhaka of the sadhana as well as the master of the yoga. This is what you should realize every moment of your sadhana. You are not doing the sadhana. You are supposed to be rejected. You means what? Your mind, your emotions, your physical body's reactions. All these have to be rejected, thrown out. And then what happens? He becomes the real sadhaka. Our sadhana is only not to disturb him. I remember in the childhood, I once read a book titled Good Boy in Hindi, Achha Balak. It was printed by Gita Press Gorakhpur. And there it was written that a good boy always helps his parents, his mother, etc., etc. And so I went to the kitchen and started helping my mother. She said, if you go out, that will be the best help. Because, so that is what we are supposed to do. Let the divine be in and let us go out. This is the real spirit with which we do the sadhana. You try to understand and read it, because the more you read, I told you that these words by Sri Aurobindo are mantric in nature. A mantra manifests itself. That is what we mean by a mantra. So these spirit, where first is the whole conscious being is put into relation and contact with the divine, and to call him in to transform our entire being into his. And then what we should see? We should feel that the real sadhana is being done by him, not by us. Because actually what is going to happen is you are really being pushed out in this sadhana. Your physical body will be transformed. It has to transform. Next, your vital body will be transformed. And next, your mental body will be transformed. So when these three bodies are transformed, no more it will be you who are doing the sadhana. It is the power which is transforming you is going to do the sadhana for you. This method translates itself into the progressive surrender of the ego with its whole field and all its apparatus to the beyond ego with its vast and incalculable but always inevitable workings. So now we can divide our yoga into two levels, the egoic level and the beyond yoga level. The egoic level has to go. But we start with this. I am doing the sadhana, I am reading this book, it's okay. But what should happen